Oh, there's a mouse. I almost touched him. Oh, I hate this place. Ugh. I feel kind of bad, but it's so gross. I love boondocking. I love boondocking. I love boondocking. Why in the world would we camp off grid when we travel in this? Here's why. Off-grid camping, also known as boondocking, is when you have no utilities and you're out in nature. There is no shame in taking a luxury motorhome boondocking. We love to boondock for a few days up to a few weeks. It's so refreshing to be out in nature, overlooking a river, the valley, and the mountains. Boondocking can be easy. Come along with us for the day and we'll show you how to pull it off. But first, if we haven't met before, we're the Shin Paws. We're a family of 4 who travels full-time so we can make memories now. So we were just outside of Du Bois, Wyoming. We were traveling. I spied a spot. We said we're willing to try it on the way back through, and that's what we did. But, we've been at this over 8 years. And so we can spy some things that maybe you can't. So Jason, what would you say to people who want to boondock? Like, how do they even start researching that?
Well, I think the first thing is just don't be afraid to do it. Like, that's the very first thing. Because remember, we were super skeptical.
Oh, we were nervous as could be the first time we ever did it. A little scared, being somewhere by ourselves. What if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? And really, honestly, the first time we boondocked, we did it for one night. And it wasn't far from the road. It was dark. We were out in the country. But that's how we started, one night. And now we are almost to 3 weeks of boondocking. And we've got 4 or 5 more nights of it at our next location. So we love it now, and we're happy to do a bunch more. So don't be afraid, but where do you go to find boondocking spots?
Well, there's some great Facebook pages. There's one called Boondocking for Big Rigs,
right,
which I've been using. There's another one that's called Free Boondocking, and it's just very crowdsourced.
So on those Facebook pages, you're just going in and having normal conversations or searching for the area that you want to be in?
I may ask, or I just may research.
So you might say, hey, we're in the Grand Tetons on this side of the park. Does anybody have a great boondocking place they'd suggest? Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So that's easy. Okay. Facebook. So then apps. Tell us that.
The number one app I'm using right now is iOverlander. It's a free app. I believe they're getting ready to start charging for it. It's actually a worldwide app.
Really?
It was started with people for vans and, hey, you could crash out in this parking lot. It was really meant for van life, but it's morphed into a great app. And you can go on there and find if it's big rig friendly per them, right? So I'll go in, I'll work through the app, find some places. Then you can go right from the app to Google Maps. I'll pull up the satellite. I'll look at the road going in. We were really fortunate. The last 3 places we went have had paved roads all the way, with the exception of just a little bit.
Yeah, so you're touching on something I wanted to make sure that we talked about, which is Facebook groups are awesome. This iOverlander app has been a godsend for us. But once you find out a location, you need to do some more homework and do as much Google searching, find out as much as you can, and read the fine print. Because the most important thing is, can you get in and out? And the bigger your rig, the more you have to be certain of that.
We don't hardly ever see any big rigs like ours out.
We don't. I don't think a lot of people even think about boondocking in these big rigs. But guys, you're equipped. By the end of this video, you're going to see how easy it is. And just go do it for a weekend. Go somewhere you could never go otherwise. Get out of that campground. Get out into nature and just see how beautiful it is. When it's you or maybe a couple rigs, you take a little group of friends and have safety that way. But it is so important to read the fine print so you know how to get in and out. Because the last thing you want to do is get stuck. You just don't want to get stuck. The other thing that you need to pay attention to is how long can you stay in that spot? Because Boondocking is typically on government land, right? National forest, state forest, BLM land, that stands for Bureau of Land Management. There's lots of different agencies that oversee the land that you're on. And some don't care how long you stay, and some do. The place that we were just at would allow you to stay up to 16 days. Before that, it was 14 days in a 30-day period. And the place before that was only 5 days in a 30-day period. And some places don't care at all. Some places you can park wherever you want. Others ask you to pay attention to where the natural parking places are. So you just need to read the fine print and be respectful of it. So that way these boondocking spots stay available for all of us for a very long time. But definitely read the fine print. Make sure you can get in and out and how long you can legally stay. Because some of these places do have like a park ranger or a camp host that comes around and patrols. And you don't want to get a fine or get on their bad side. Time out. We have covered so much information and the best is yet to come. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. We have put together a free boondocking checklist for success for you. We really want you to have a great time boondocking, so we took it very seriously to put as much as we could in there to help you. All you have to do is go in the description, click the link, and you can get a copy, and you'll be up to speed on everything we're talking about. Let us know how you like it. This is not a one-size-fits-all adventure. Once you decide if you're going to boondock for a few days or a few weeks, then you can establish your plan and figure out the gear that you need. The most important things to figure out is your water, food, shelter, where you're going to shower, and use the bathroom. If you're tent camping, you probably just need a couple chairs. Maybe you need a camp stove unless you plan to cook with foil over the fire every night. And if you are tent camping, you definitely need to know where the closest bathhouse is or paid shower facility. If you have an RV, figure out what you can run off the batteries and for how long. Do you have a generator? Maybe you need one. Also, figure out how many gallons you have for black water, gray water, and fresh water. And if you're going to boondock longer than your capacity, then you need to know where the closest dump station is. If you have a big motorhome like us, you know how important it is to have the basement and the pantry and fridge organized. And it's even more important when you're boondocking. You may be taking along extra supplies depending on how long your trip is and how remote you are. If you have a mechanical issue, you're going to want to have extra parts on hand and know exactly where they are. We had our wiper completely bust a few weeks ago while we were driving in the rain, and unfortunately Jason had to get outside in one of the bays to replace it. So really think about, if something breaks, where is the easiest place to get it? And you definitely don't want extra food laying around outside. You want it in a plastic container or in the fridge or the microwave. Rodents are a real thing when you're RVing. So you're my hero right now because you're doing something that I don't think I could do, but is completely necessary.
Well, part of boondocking is you get mice, and it's the first time we've ever had to deal with this in our motorhome.
Well, we've never had mice anywhere. We live in Florida, so we might get a cockroach or a lizard, but the thought of dealing with a rat or a mouse or whatever, like that is not anything we are schooled at. And we've been doing RV life for over 8 years. And I guess we just thought, because we keep everything clean and put away, that it would never happen to us.
So we woke up one morning and there was little mouse droppings by Norman's food and some others on the counter even. And that was like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't even like to say that out loud, but yeah, we woke up and it was just one morning. And so I was like, Jason, I think we have a mouse in the house. And he's like, okay. And you went right to the hardware store.
Oh my gosh, that was paralyzing. Like, I've never shopped for mouse traps before. And it was like, which one of these 111 traps would you like? And anyway, we fixed it. We got some and they worked. Yeah, we'll kind of leave it at that. We went as humane as possible. We have this little thing that's just supposed to trap them so you can release them in the house, and we've never caught any. But the guy at the store told us to get these good old-fashioned wooden ones for the basements, and that's pretty much taking care of everything. Yep.
So, but boondocking close to brush and shrubs, which as you can see, that's where we are. It's a real consideration, and we could have done some preventative measures, right? There's some sachets that you can buy, peppermint oil on cotton balls, and there's even these like electronic things you can plug in, which may or may not work when you're boondocking, but just think about it. And if you have an older rig that has maybe some looser seals, any tiny, you said that the guy at Ace told you a space as big as your finger.
As a dime.
As a dime. Think about that.
It's almost impossible. I mean, it's
a little tiny hole they can come in. So you really want to pay attention. Use that foam stuff to fill any holes. Just all the preventative things that you can do, do it.
Our stuff smells like a peppermint factory.
It's important to understand how your appliances work. For example, we have a residential refrigerator. That means it draws a lot of power. So Jason makes sure that we run the generator a little bit every day to keep the batteries charged, because we don't want this thing going out. We also have a convection microwave oven, and in order to run it and the cooktop that we have under here, we do turn the generator on. These draw a tremendous amount of power, and so we always turn the generator on if we need to use one of these. The dishwasher, same thing. We only run it once every handful of days, but we do use it even while boondocking, and the generator needs to be on. We have some little appliances that we use a lot. We love our Vitamix. We make smoothies in it. I mean, we make all kinds of other recipes too, but of course it's the best for smoothies. But we can run this off the battery. I can also run my little coffee maker off the battery. And Jason loves his soda water, and the Soda Stream is no cord. It has a CO2 cartridge, so that's even better. So that's just a brief overview of our appliances. We're gonna make some great meals while we're boondocking, and we'll show you some of that later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. And also, Sarah has put together an Amazon store for us, and we're gonna create a list for boondocking. I'm not gonna be able to talk about everything that we use or do while we're boondocking, but if you're interested and need a kickstart, check out that list in our Amazon store, and it'll give you a lot of great ideas. The link is in our description below. So we have boondocked long enough that you know exactly what we're looking for.
I do. The number one thing that we always look for in a boondocking spot is flat, level ground.
So that is probably the most important thing for anybody looking to boondock. But what are we looking for when we boondock?
Some incredible views.
I think we nailed it. Willis, you know, it's really important that you feel safe in the area too.
Yeah, because you know, sometimes it's not the people, it's the wildlife.
For sure, and there are beware of bear signs everywhere here. You know, maybe you have a pet like us. Are you gonna be comfortable taking them out at night in the dark by yourself? Also, bugs, right? Here we have a really nice breeze, so it's not a big deal. But every now and again you think, oh, let's go nestle up in those trees. That'll be an awesome spot. Maybe not. Might be loaded with bugs.
And that totally depends on the time of the year.
Let's talk about etiquette out here when you're boondocking. Think about others as you're positioning your rig. If there's a great view, park in a way that others can take advantage of it too. And if you have to park at a really weird angle, go knock on your neighbor's door and just ask them if it's okay. Let them know what you're up to. Setting up when boondocking is almost like setting up at the campground. We're still gonna put the slide out, we're gonna level with the airbags, but we're just not gonna run any water hoses or electrical cords. We set up the outside differently every time we boondock. It depends on if there's a bunch of wildlife activity. And here, there are signs everywhere about bears. So we do set the Kaveri grill out and leave that because we can tighten that down real good. But our Blackstone grill stays in the bus and we only pull it out when we need it. We also set up a hand washing station out here. We've got the soap right now and the jug we'll bring out in just a little bit. But we put a 2.5 gallon jug of water out here for that. And then we'll sit a 2.5 gallon jug of water on the counter to use for cooking and drinking. And that really helps us conserve the water in our tank for the other more important things like dishes, showers, bathrooms, brushing teeth, and laundry if we need to do it. Let's talk about daily life while boondocking. Sarah, today's your dish day. How are you conserving water doing dishes?
The biggest way to conserve water is to not leave the water running while you're doing dishes. You turn your faucet onto a small trickle and put it on the spray feature, which helps a lot to save water because you have more radius of water. We also fill our dishwasher and we run it every couple days, but we also use paper and plastic a lot, which saves a bunch of water.
We're not trying to win the world's longest boondocking record, so we do use our dishwasher while we're out. We definitely eat on paper most of the time, but if we have pork chops or steak or something like that, we'll use a real plate, we'll use a real fork, we'll use a real knife. And then the dishwasher uses less water than if we were washing all of those things individually over the course of a couple days. Right here is a switch to turn the generator on and off. We tend to run it every afternoon, especially in the summertime when we're boondocking, because it's hot outside, and we'll turn the air conditioners on just to cool it down a little bit. Also during that time, if we want to make something special, run the Instapot, maybe bake something in the oven, we'll plan for that. That's also a great time for us to run the dishwasher when it's full. That's our strategy, but we also do turn it on and off at mealtime sometimes. We like to have eggs for breakfast, and if we don't want to get the grill out outside and we're somewhere just for a day or two, we'll cook it inside at night when it's dinner time. If it's a cool day and we didn't turn the generator on, no big deal. We'll turn it on for dinner. So that's how we navigate our generator and keeping things charged and doing the things that we want to do while boondocking. Since we're talking meals, let's go ahead and show you a couple of the meals that we did prepare boondocking style. So we love to have chicken wings on the grill. To get ready, Jason double foils the pan so that he can put the raw chicken on it, season it, and then after he puts the wings on the grill, all we have to do is fold the foil up, throw it away, and we have a clean layer on the pan. Fortunately, we have our hand washing station outside, so that keeps Jason's hands clean. The wings are looking amazing. They're about ready to come off. Willis is our hero as he brings us a platter of the best chicken wings ever. We also made enchiladas one night. We baked them in a foil pan, but before that, we cooked everything in one skillet on the stove, but only after prepping this before boondocking and saving it in a plastic bag. They were delicious. Finally, Jason and I had date night one night, and what that meant was he made steaks on the grill. We did some baked potatoes and broccoli in the house, and then in order to save on dishes, we put them all on the cutting board and enjoyed a fabulous meal. The best one, in my opinion, boondocking style. It's really important to manage the water back here. In the shower, we turn the water on and off as quickly as we can while we're taking showers. Jason's getting ready to take a shower, and we'll show you what that looks like.
Water on. Water off. Water on. Water off.
So that was kind of fun. Jason's shouting out start and stop with the water. But what we try to do a couple times, or at least one time when we're boondocking for 4 or 5 days, is we'll go pay and take a shower. If you're at the national parks or you're out and about where people hike a lot of times this is easy to find. And just one day worth of taking showers not in the rig can give us maybe 2 more days of boondocking space in our tanks. When we go to the bathroom, we do follow the rule of if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Sorry, but we do. With 4 of us here, especially if we're here all day long working and schooling, that black tank can fill up really quickly. So, we're a pretty tight-knit family, but after boondocking, we're even tighter, let me tell you. Our toilet does have a feature on it where it uses the least amount of water possible. So we also turn that feature on. And then of course, when we're washing our hands and brushing our teeth, it's on, off, on, off. So we're just super careful and conservative with the water back here. The more you're home while boondocking, the faster you're going to fill up your tanks. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? So when we do go out hiking, when we do go out for lunch or go to town, there was a really great farmer's market on Saturday that we went to. When we do those things, we're super conscious of go to the bathroom before you get back in the car and come home. Don't wait till you get home. If it's a hike and we're all sweaty and dirty, maybe we'll take a shower while we're out. Filling our cups up with ice, taking our water jugs and filling those up so we have them on the counter. So there's all kinds of little things you can do and you'll discover to stretch the life of your tanks. As you know, we have a washer and dryer tucked in the back here, and we will actually do laundry while boondocking. Sometimes we go hiking and our clothes are just disgusting, or maybe we've been in the water and we don't have time for them to dry out before we move the next day. If we can find a shower out, then I can trade that water for a load of laundry. But we also have taken our laundry to the laundromats before. That is always a good option too. We don't have solar. We boondock because we like to, and we boondock for days or weeks. We're not boondocking for months or for most of the year. But if we were, we would definitely look at solar. So I can't comment much about how to use solar while boondocking. Maybe the most important thing when you're boondocking is just keeping things clean and tidy. As we shared with you earlier, we had mice for the first time, and we keep a pretty neat house. So it just happens, right? You're in nature, you're by trees and extra shrubs, and it's just, you know, it's just a greater chance. So taking out the trash, it's a little harder than you think. Sometimes we have to drive and drive and drive to find a trash can. Right now we're staying on the edge of the Teton National Forest, and it's been a chore to find a trash can. Every time we go to town, no matter how full this bag is, it gets in the truck and we find it a new home. Before I take this out, there's actually one more really important part. Every time you finish doing dishes, all the gross stuff that collects in your strainer, empty it out, because I'm telling you, it will attract critters, or it can attract critters. So that is like really, really important. Finally, one of the things that we've started doing at night is putting Norman's dog food away. This is where we saw the mice the first time, or we saw mice droppings under the bowl where we keep his dog food. So I've just started putting it in a Ziploc. I wrote his name on it, and then I just pop it in the microwave. And so those are a couple tips as far as garbage and waste and putting your pet's foods away goes. Up here we also have a tank monitor, so we can keep an eye on the fresh, gray, and black tanks to see how full they are. So that's wonderful. You want to keep an eye on that regularly. Finally, we have Starlink, and I'm telling you, it's been a game changer. This is the first summer that we have truly been able to go anywhere we want to go, because we still work and the kids are schooling. And so Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, we've got to be able to plug in. We've got to check email, we've got to make phone calls, we do Zoom calls, you know, all those normal things. You just can't imagine how wonderful it is to find a really cool spot, pull in, call it home for the week, and be able to stay dialed in and not miss a beat. When it's time to pack up, make sure you get everything, because unlike a campground, there's nobody coming to check the site to see if you left anything behind. And if you do, you'll probably never see it again. Enjoy not having to put all of those hoses away, and make sure you get everything else secured. Do one more walk all the way around, and then enjoy the view one last time. I hope you'll give boondocking a try. It's such a great change of pace, and with just a little extra effort and preparation, you can have a great time for a couple days or a couple weeks. Remember to check out the cheat sheet in the description below, and check out our video where we went glamping without any sewer hookup. It's a great intro to boondocking. Go make some memories now with your family and friends, and we'll see you on the next adventure.
Give me that energy. Give it. Give it. Yeah. Strike that pose. Now turn. Now turn. And turn all the way around and walk back. Go. 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 Turn. Yes. Give him the energy.